Before the pandemic, I was able to get out to Philadelphia, and while I was hitting a lot of tiki bars, I also had to try their famous Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. Many of you probably know that there are two rivaling cheesesteak places, and there's the age-old argument of whose is better. So my wife got one, I got one, we split them in half, and we tried it. And the only difference I could really see is one had fresher bread, but a better seasoned meat, and the other one had smaller pieces, but the bread wasn't as fresh. Honestly, neither of these fit the bill for me. Neither of them cut it. And a lot of people will tell you probably get a better cheesesteak down at the Jersey Shore. Now, when I came back, a lot of Philadelphia people said, no, you got to go to the place around the corner, or you got to go here, or you got to go there. But my wife loves them, and I'm going to show you how I do it at home that is better than the Boardwalk or Philadelphia or anywhere else. Like everything else, you want to start with choice quality meat. What they're using in Philadelphia, I don't know. I don't know if it's ribeye, I don't know if it's shaved beef, I don't know how old it is, I don't know what part of the cow they get it from, I don't know any of that. So I'm going to go with one of the brands I know, and there's really only two in my supermarket. It's Pat LaFreda and this other brand. They're both fine. I can't really tell the difference, to be honest. They're both about $8 or $9 a pound. And one time I got very ambitious and I went to the butcher to get some, and they used ribeye, and that was very expensive. That was closer to about $20 a pound. As delicious as it was, we decided to stick with the one we get in the supermarket, and one package of these should make 4 to 6 sandwiches. Depends on how much meat and vegetables you like in there. I cut the package in half, and I usually get 3 sandwiches out of it. We eat one each, and my wife takes the next one to work the next day for lunch. The trick for me is the vegetables, and I slice the onions and the pepper very thin as I could get it, or julienne as they say. Some of you may like a crunchier vegetable. I like mine nice and soft and caramelized. That's your call. So another thing that helps is a cast iron pan. If you don't have one of these, you really should. So I start cooking my vegetables first, and in the meantime, I season my beef really well with salt, pepper, and shaved garlic. Both sides. I move the vegetables to the side of the pan. I turn up the heat, and I sear that meat in the middle. Once it's cooked on one side, I mix in the vegetables and flip it over and continue to cook until the meat is cooked all the way through. Now you could add provolone or cheddar cheese. I know the original recipe calls for Cheese Whiz. I'm not a big fan of Cheese Whiz. I think it's very salty, and there's already enough salt in here. So I use a combination of provolone and American cheese. One thing I do recommend is that you put mayonnaise, a very thin layer, on both sides of the bread. And the bread, too, is also very important. I like a softer long roll. I don't like the chewy hard rolls. I do prefer something softer, almost like what you would have in a Cuban sandwich. Definitely do not use hot dog rolls or any white bread or anything like that. That will just ruin this. And there you have it. A cheesesteak that rivals even the best in Philadelphia.